Hey everybody, welcome back. I wanted to talk about the 5 things you really must do once you've saved your first $1 million for retirement. That's a steep goal for some people. Sometimes you just wake up and you count it up and you realize, holy cow, I've made it. So we got to talk about some of this preparation for retirement. We got to look at these priorities once we start saving significant amount of money. So first thing I want everybody to do once they've saved their first million for retirement, I want you to imagine you're heading into retirement. Think about what age you're going to retire. Think about this idea of retirement. Start discussing it with a spouse. Have fun with it. Come up with your hopes and dreams of what retirement looks like. But then I want you to actually sit down and look at reality. Hopefully, everybody's goal should be to pay off debt before they retire. So think about what your budget looks like once you head into retirement. List the I need to pays, okay? Shelter, insurance, transportation, food, taxes, some basic entertainment, your Netflix bill, things like that. Come up with a cost parameter on that. What kind of monthly bills do we have to pay to survive in retirement? Again, hopefully no mortgage payment. Hopefully no rent payment. We should own a house by then. That should always be a goal. So base budget for retirement becomes really important. This is an exercise that will help you understand when you're going to be ready for retirement. If you have enough money for retirement, if you have enough income for retirement, you got to start here. Start with that basic budget. Then go into the dreamland, go into the bucket list, go into what do I want to do in retirement? Because nobody should head into retirement thinking all they're going to do is sit on the couch and watch TV. That's a terrible idea and it leads to a very short retirement. Okay. Have a plan for retirement, know what your hobbies are, know what you're going to do in retirement, know what you're going to do to enjoy your time in retirement. So travel, second home, children, grandchildren, hobbies, memberships, like golf memberships, stuff like that, charitable giving, things like that. Everybody has their own priorities and ways they enjoy their retirement. Come up with a list and what is that going to cost you, okay? And then reasonably go through those emergency expenses or those bigger one-time expenses that we're going to see in retirement. Medical, dental has come up a lot lately. I've seen $5,000 to $15,000 bills coming in the office quite often. I got to pay for this. I got to pay for this. It's not the air conditioner went down. It's not the heater went out. It's I got to get a root canal and 17 other things done in my mouth. So we got to keep an eye on what our deductibles are, what our insurances cover and don't cover. We need to sit down and make ourselves feel good that we have the money to cover those emergency expenses as well. Okay. So that's the first thing you're going to do. Once you realize you wake up and you've got a pretty good nest egg going for retirement, it's time to start thinking about what that retirement is going to look like and start looking at the logistics of it, because this is where we're going to be able to match this up. Second thing I need you to do is go in and start looking at your Social Security needs. Okay. How will you pay the I need to pays? And one thing that you should always know when you head into retirement, if you want a comfortable retirement, the I need to pays should be paid by guaranteed income. Social Security is the first thing you're going to look at. So log into Social Security. I just did it for myself. Log in, look at ssa.gov. Create a profile, sign in, and in there you will then be able to review your earning history. Okay. This is important to go through and review your earning history. You might find errors on there and correct them and end up getting more Social Security. Then review your benefits. Find out what your benefits are at each age. At 62 all the way to 70, you need to look at what your choices are. If I wait till 70, in this example here, it's $4,325. If I take it early, I'm only going to get paid $2,287. So make sure that you look at your Social Security, make sure that you kind of plan that into that age when you're going to retire, because if you retire in your 50s, you got a long gap to fill before you start getting any form of regular income. So that's got to be built into a plan. Then, is there any ex-spouses or widows or any other benefits that are out there, or spousal benefits, even if they're alive and you're still married? There are a lot of opportunities out there. I actually have met several people that had exes from 30, 40 years ago. They were married to for at least 10 years, and they ended up getting benefits, Social Security benefits from them when they went to retire. So very interesting. Some extra money might come out of the woodwork because of ex-spouses. All right. Company pensions. Time to go look at what you're going to have as a company pension, company or governmental pension of some kind, military pension. Pensions are great. This is guaranteed payment for the rest of your life, in addition to Social Security. For most people, states like Illinois, the government employees did not pay into Social Security, so they're only going to have a pension. But the nice thing is it's a fairly large pension. So it's important to look at what your pension situation is. Do you have any opportunities there? What kind of income will you have in retirement from the pensions, and when can you take it? And then the last one is those income annuities. Okay, do you have them? Did you go to get a free steak at a dinner seminar and get sold one and not know what it is? That happens quite often. These actually are useful when used properly. And the only problem is people selling them to you don't know how to use them properly. They're not financial planners. There's nothing wrong with them. They just get sold to you. I have a prediction. My prediction is income annuities, especially the deferred income annuities, which are pensions. They're just pensions you're funding yourself. They're going to become extremely popular because company pensions have all but disappeared. There are very few options for pensions out there other than working for the state or governmental type job. Okay. So there's going to be a lot of people out there that are going to want more income, because the goal is to have that guaranteed income pay for those I have to pays. We want to have that as our baseline. Okay. Next, longevity. Take a look at your longevity. Excuse me. Decide how long you think you're going to live. It's important that we look at this realistically, because we're not living as long as we used to. Look, I usually do planning to 100 because I don't want you to run out of money. Although we have a couple of clients that are going to make it past 100, I'm sure of it. The reality is that we don't know how long we're going to live. Okay, women live longer than men, and married people live longer than single people. We can look at little things like that. So your gender, genetics, relationships, access to healthcare, exercise, diet, lifestyle, and my personal belief is desire and drive to enjoy your retirement. You have to have a reason to live, right? So get out there, have fun. Maybe it's the grandkids that are your reason to enjoy retirement. Maybe it's travel. Everybody has what they find as their enjoyment in retirement. You've got to have that enjoyment, that drive to be around and enjoy those grandkids is a great driver for that, okay? And then the last one is know when to pull back risk, okay? There's a lot of people out there that have become extremely aggressive with their investing, 100% of their money in the stock market, and it's worked for the last 10 years. You know, the last year, yeah, it's pulled back. But after 10 years of straight up, it doesn't really feel that bad when we see a pullback at 20% or so, okay? Question is it going to keep going? And I just had this discussion with somebody that's within 5 years of retirement. We have to start thinking about pulling back risk. So on this chart here, this comes from actuaries. The red line is the aggressive model. The blue line is the conservative model. And the straight green line there is your age in safe investments. Okay. So what you'll notice is on the left side here, the vertical side, that's your allocation to stocks in your overall portfolio. And I've revised the bottom here because it's really not based on your age. It's based on your need for money. Okay. Understand, Warren Buffett should have at least 60% of his money in stocks, according to this. I'm sorry, 60% of his money in safe investments, according to this chart. But it doesn't apply to him. So I want to make sure there's a big difference between people in retirement that need their savings to fund their retirement and people in retirement that have no need for their savings. They have really big incomes or they live within their means. Those people don't need to look at this chart at all. Okay, you look at this chart, you pull back risk, the closer you get to needing your money. Okay, that's the super important part. So the rules of thumb that we're going to live by: when you have that 5-year window, you're starting to look at retirement, and you think that you can retire within the next 5 years, that's when you start paying attention. Okay, 10 years, 5 years, some people say 10. I want you to be aware of retirement before 10 years before retirement, but 5 years is really where you should start putting the work in, really preparing yourself. Okay, then once you start realizing how much of this money you need, I see a lot of people in retirement that just pull from their IRA. They got plenty of IRA money. Maybe they hit required distributions and that's all they do is take that money and they never touch the rest of their portfolio. Well, you look at what these statisticians have come up with, and when you need your money, they all agree that somewhere around 60-40 is where you should be. 70-30, 60-40, leaning on safe investments. This is looking at decades of turbulence and understanding the math, which I have plenty of videos on for you to watch on the YouTube page regarding this math. It's important that we understand that the only time you need safe investments is when you're going to start withdrawing from that portfolio. So understand the statisticians that protect the big boys when it goes to the court of law. They go in and say, here's all the historic proof. 60-40 was the best portfolio to be in for this person. And that's what they use. Okay, so be careful. Understand that sounds really conservative to some people, but this only needs to be applied to the parts of your portfolio that you're going to pull from. And when you are pulling, the greater your withdrawal rate, the greater the effect of volatility. Okay, this is a mantra you must scream at yourself. Watch some of my videos on sequence of returns and the math and who needs safe investments. There's a whole bunch of videos on that. It's so important that we understand that math. So please, please, please understand when you start withdrawing, you need those safe investments. So start paying attention and put a rough plan together 5 years before retirement. That's when a good financial advisor can be very useful. I'm not an advocate for 20, 30, 40-year-olds who have a 401k and some little bit of other savings paying for an advisor. We don't need that. We need people to have a good financial planner when they're transitioning into retirement. That 5-year window on in through retirement, a good financial planner can always help out during that period because it is not easy turning off that paycheck and relying on your savings. Okay. So those are the 5 things I need everybody to pay attention to once they wake up and realize they've saved $1 million. Doesn't have to be $1 million. It might be $997,000. Might be 2.3 million. But the reality is at some point you wake up and go, oh, retirement. Wow, I can't believe how much I have saved already. So these are the important things we got to pay attention to. Check out some of my other videos. If you like this, share it with friends, hit the little like button, but subscribe. We need the subscribers. That's how this whole YouTube thing works. And I'm adding 3-4 videos every single week. So of course you want to know when those are coming in because they got lots of wonderful stuff to talk about. And that Secure Act is changing a lot of things. So we're going to be picking that apart in a lot of individual separate videos as well as the year goes through and these things really come out. All right. Talk to you soon. Thank you very much. Give us a call or shoot us an email if I can help in any way.